want you to watch this clip of Bill Maher getting into a debate over Israel and Hamas. This guy is defending Hamas, basically saying October 7th was bad, but there's other context, and history didn't start on October 7th, and all these other like talking points, and Bill Maher breaks them down one by one.
I will say that does not mean we can't have a conversation about the deeper context here. We have to have that conversation. That does not justify in any way what happened. You said there's a siege on Gaza. That's right. There's also been a blockade since 2007. That is part of this context. Again, not a justification, never a justification.
Well, a blockade from a land they gave back.
Yeah.
They gave back.
Right.
Gaza is
well,
not
they withdrew
occupied.
their forces and settlements from within Gaza.
Okay, but the reason there's a blockade is to stop shit like this from happening.
No, I agree with that.
That's the whole point. They gave it back. They said, you know what? Make your life your own.
This conflict right now could end right this second if Hamas were to put down its weapons and surrender unconditionally. I know, it would never happen. But that's the reality, and this has always been the reality of this conflict.
Yes.
If the Arabs were to put down their weapons, and this goes back to the 1930s, before the creation of the State of Israel, if the Arabs put down their weapons, there would be peace. If the Jews put down their weapons, there'd be no more Jews in the Middle East.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I want to get. I mentioned this about. It bothers me the moral equivalency that goes on in the American media. I don't think Israelis would ever purposely kill babies. I think they have killed babies. That's collateral damage, which is another horrible thing, but that's part of war.
Well,
I think that there's a very big difference between rejoicing when you kill civilians and the Israelis regret when they kill civilians.
I'm not going to take issue with that, but let me add one thing about the context here. It is very important to understand that the Israeli strategy up until last weekend had been to bolster Hamas's control of Gaza. There was a report that came out of Benjamin Netanyahu talking to a meeting of the Likud party in 2019 saying, and I quote, our strategy, anyone who wants to prevent the creation of a Palestinian state has to bolster Hamas and give them money. This is how we keep the Palestinians divided, and therefore it will never be a Palestinian state. This is not someone who is interested in peace with the Palestinians. I'm sorry. And this policy goes back to the 1970s.
Well, that's coming after 75 years of being attacked.
The question here,
so it's not coming in a vacuum.
I totally agree. But I think we can disagree about the history. We can disagree about who did what and who's to blame at different times. But ultimately, these two people are going to have to share this land. And the question is how we get to that point.
I just want to finish with the values first, because it's just amazing to me that the American left, so much of it, throws their lot in with people whose values, I hope they don't share, but let's go through them. Because values and customs make a difference, okay? And the people of Gaza, by the way, if the Israelis did get rid of Hamas, they'd be doing a giant favor to the people of Gaza who hate Hamas too. But let's just go through the lists. Because the Israelis look like us in most ways, values-wise. Maybe we're not doing it the right way. I don't know. Religious tolerance. That doesn't exist in Gaza. You're either Muslim or an infidel, and you better be a Muslim. Female freedom. Free and fair elections. Free speech. Gay rights. I see these Queers for Palestine.
Did you hear their sister organization, Blacks for the KKK?
It's like...
By the way, I'm a gay man. I've lived in Berlin. This is a level of masochism that even I cannot comprehend.
Right. I mean, you know what?
I'm going to just...
can I just finish my list? Pedophilia, I'll put that under don't ask. Child brides and so forth. Equality of the sexes, I'll categorize that under don't make me fucking laugh. The fact that, you know, these people think that this is where they should be aligned with, that these are the values that you support?
Yeah, progressives supporting Hamas or the Palestinian people in general is pretty insane. Even Muslim countries, like, think about it. Think about the values between maybe not Saudi Arabia now that they're changing, but Iran and the left in America. Completely different set of values, and yet at every single turn you have the left saying, oh, but they can do whatever they want, and we should be defending them, and we shouldn't be antagonizing them, and all these other bullshit phrases. Bill Maher hit the nail on the head. If you are progressive and you're defending these people, there's something wrong with you. Like, that's plain and simple. It's not a progressive stance to be pro-Gaza. It's anti-liberal, free speech, anti all of these values that are supposed to be held by the Democratic Party and even the far left. But they're seemingly creating a lot. But they're seemingly going along with this Islamo-leftist alliance that is trying to pretty much destroy the entire Western world. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.